All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 357 SIG test. Today we are going to be testing out some of the most popular, talked about, sought after rounds in this caliber. And they are the Underwood loaded 65 grain Xtreme Defender and the 125 grain 6-pedal Gold Dot. So on the left is that Defender. Looks like a Phillips head screwdriver on that one. Does have some pretty deep flutes in that round. Is a solid copper bullet. Does have that nickel plated brass, and that one is rated at 2100 feet per second. And on the right we do have our Gold Dot. We have tested this one multiple times here on the channel. Always seems to do great, so figured we might as well do it again. That one also has nickel plated brass, and that one is rated at 1475 feet per second. So we'll be going out of our Glock 31. That is a full-size 4.5-inch barrel. And through that gel, that is a 10% block. We do have our catch block behind that, so a total of 25 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front, and like always, we'll set up our chronograph so we can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see what these rounds can do head to head. I think we're gonna switch it or flop it. So the first one up will actually be the Gold Dot and then the Defender. Here we go. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. So it looks like our impact velocity was definitely a little bit low. We got 1431 feet per second. So definitely under advertised there. So this batch that I'm testing is actually a little bit older batch. It's not the ones that I tested here the other day. So kind of shows that, you know, at that time they weren't loading them as hot as they should be. All right, let's check that entry out. Looks like we got a decent hit on that one. You can see right down in that cavity. And this one has a nice spiral cut, kind of twisting to the right, which is really cool to see. And from the top, not too bad at all. Pretty decent stretch cavity on that one. Like I said, this one was definitely under advertised and under what it normally hits, but still pretty good to see. And then we did make it into that second block and we did catch it. So let's check out our stretch from this one. At the furthest point, we were at 2.5 inches, so not too bad. Normally we're at about 3 to 3 1/4 on this, but not too bad at all. And from the side, check that out. Looks pretty cool on this side. Real distinct cuts going down in there. So it looks like as soon as it came in, opened up really nicely. Really good spiral cuts going through there. It looks like it carried that energy most of the way, and then towards the end it did kind of start to flatline. I don't know if you could see it from this angle, and we are here in that second block. So at our widest point here, we're exactly the same, right? Actually, let's see. Yeah, exactly the same, right at 2.5 inches. So pretty decent stretch cavity on that, and we made it at our leading edge. You probably can't see it down in there. A little bit cloudier of a block at 2.5 inches, so we got 13.5 inches of penetration there. So not too bad at all. So let's set up for that Xtreme Defender and see how that one does. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. So our impact velocity on that was 2,022 feet per second. So it looks like we got, you know, definitely under advertised there. What's that? 78 feet per second less. So, you know, decent numbers, but not all what it's cracked up to be so far. Kind of same as that Gold Dot, definitely underrated. Which is definitely what I've been noticing with Underwood lately. They're either, it's literally hit and miss lately, depending on caliber. you know, how they're loading. Sometimes they're over advertised, sometimes they're below advertised. So that was still some pretty decent numbers on that. All right, so check that entry hole out. You can see where it hit. Kind of has a little bit different of an impact than this one. This one's, you know, nice and clean, and that one is a little bit more ragged. You can kind of see that little X pattern in there, but looking pretty good so far. You can see right down in there and some pretty good cuts, and then tons of cotton t-shirt here on the entry. And check that out. Got a major stretch cavity on that. And this one's going all the way through. It doesn't look like it settled down at all. And then we did make it into that second block with quite a bit of penetration, and it is facing forward, so I think it was trucking along pretty good. So let's see if we can get a decent measurement on this one. So all the way over. I have tested this one before, and it does do that kind of, you know, curve either left or right, but pretty good. So let's see, at our widest point we are at about 2 3/4 inches, so definitely more than that gold dot there. But check out the cuts on that gold dot, really uniform. But that's a pretty nasty channel right there. So let's check it out from the side, and check that out. Looks like we got some pretty good expansion there. Not so much expansion, but displacement of that tissue and or gel. But that one looks like it pretty much carried all the way through. It does look like it was a little bit delayed before it started kind of doing its damage, and then it carried through. And man, it doesn't look like it settled down until that last half inch or so. And then we did make it into that second block, so really good to see there. And let's see from the side, we're at just about the same, a little over 2 3/4 inches, so not too bad at all. And this is the round that everyone talks about, everybody wants, and everyone wants to see what it does. So let's see what kind of penetration we got on this one. So at our leading edge, we're at 6 inches. So we got 17 inches of penetration on that one. So really good to see so far. So let's check it out one more time from the top. So one on the right is that gold dot, one on the left is that Xtreme Defender. So here is that gold dot. You can see as soon as this one came in, opened up really nice, clean cuts going all the way through, like perfect spiral cuts. And that one did carry all the way through into that second block. And for that Xtreme Defender, same thing with this one. Came in, started doing a ton of damage so far. Really nasty looking wound channel all the way through that first block, and then we did settle down towards the end, and we were able to catch that thing in the second block. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check these things out. Looks like we got some really good expansion on that one on the right, which is that gold dot, but the one on the left don't look too bad at all either. So here is that gold dot. Got some picture perfect expansion on that one. You can see that signature dot down in there, but perfect mushrooming on this one. Really good looking round right there. There is a little bit of gel still stuck back behind those petals, but perfect expansion like always. Definitely didn't hit a rated velocity, but still not too bad. Over 1,400 feet per second is pretty good. And that Defender, same with this one. This one did not expand. It's not meant to, but it does have those really deep flutes in there, so it does kind of displace you know, tissue or some type of fluid out of its way, acting as a hollow point. So this one does have a hollow base, a little bit of gel down in there. They do have their 68 grain, you know, on their box. That's what they're saying, it's 68 grain. I've measured a couple different boxes and they're all 65 grain on the scale. So I don't know why they're marketing them that way, but that one did really well. So I don't know if we'll be able to stand that one up. Yeah, we actually can. Let's see. So the one on the right is that gold dot. The one on the left is that Xtreme Defender. So we got some pretty awesome damage in that gel. So there we go. That was 357 SIG. Once again, gold dot versus 65 grain Xtreme Defender. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, and here's that cross section for that gold dot. This one has some really nice cuts down in there. This one you can kind of tell which way that rifling's going. Has some real distinct cuts, but really good stuff right there. I did remeasure both of these, and we are right at 2 3/4 inches. So I believe when we were out there, measured about 2.5. So just a little bit more now. So definitely good to see. But this gold dot always makes some really clean cuts. So let's cut it open. All right, and here's after being cut. This bottom is the right, this top is the left side. So you could see basically as soon as this one came in, probably less than 1/4 inch, it started opening up. You can see quite a bit of that cotton t-shirt that it did drag in, and a nice stretch cavity all the way through. But those gold dots, like I said, make some super clean cuts in this gel. Some really deep cuts too. So it did quite a bit of damage. Definitely, you know, wasn't the fastest and didn't make it to rated velocity, but anything over 1,400 feet per second still moving, especially out of a handgun. But same on this side, you can see a nice little deep crater. And came in, opened up, same thing, nice big stretch, ton of that fabric and cotton t-shirt that it drug in, and once again, nice clean cuts going all the way through. Really good to see there. And I have tested that one quite a few times in the past and always does good. So there we go. There was that 125 grain 6-petal gold dot. All right, and here's that cross section for that Xtreme Defender. So this one definitely did quite a bit of damage also. It has some pretty crazy looking cuts in there. Definitely different than your standard, you know, hollow point. Looks like there's definitely a lot more that it did. I did remeasure this one at its widest point right at about 3 1/4 inches. So it's pretty much what we're seeing from standard, you know, 357 SIG that's moving out really good. So this stuff was moving over 2,000 feet per second. So kind of expected there, but quite a bit of damage so far. So let's cut it open. All right, and here's after being cut. So this one I had to do in 3 sections, just the way I had to show the cross section was a little bit different. But as you can see here, as soon as this one came in, there is a little bit of black marks and black stuff in there. I'm pretty sure that's from the cotton t-shirt, because I usually mark it with a Sharpie just to get, you know, general area where I'm going to hit. So I'm pretty sure I hit it right on that dot and it kind of drug that stuff in. But quite a big stretch cavity going all the way through, and just a different kind of damage going in. Really just kind of jumbled this stuff up. Normally see nice distinct cuts with your standard hollow point, and this one, I don't know how to explain it. It just really really jumbled it up. And same on this top. Looks like there's a little bit of cotton t-shirt that it drug in, and same thing here. Looks like there are some nice cuts there on that centerpiece and here towards the end, and it did drag all the way through. There was some nice big stretching way out there also. But yeah, this one was actually pretty impressive the way it did it. I have tested this in the past out of the short barrel Glock 33, and then the one that we tested today out of the 31, and pretty much got the same results. Definitely a pretty nasty round though. But there we go. There was that 65 grain Xtreme Defender loaded by Underwood.